And the answer to that is each beverage will have a different level. There's no uniformity whatsoever. It largely depends on where the product is bottled or mixed. In the case of slushies, coffees, or soft drinks where they're mixed right at that point of retail, it really depends on the tap water at that facility, and that will tell you where you're going to get how much fluoride you're going to get. In the vast majority of these scenarios, the bottlers and dispensing machines use the public water supply without any sort of filtration. So an easy way to figure out whether or not that coffee at your local gas station, or the slushy there, or whether those beverages are fluoridated, is to look at the annual water quality reports of the town where that retail outlet resides. And you'll be able to, you can Google for that information, or you can call the water department, and they'll tell you, it'll list off the fluoride level. And that's what you should expect, unless otherwise told by the owner of that establishment that they have a filtration system. You should expect it to be the same level as the tap water. Now, as far as processed beverages at bottlers, that varies. Studies have shown that when it comes to sodas, for instance, 61% of the fluoride levels exceed 0.6 parts per million, or around the optimal level. 71% exceed what's now considered the optimal fluoridated level. So you should always be wary of any sort of soda as far as fluoride content, as well as studies have shown that juices, bottled juices, 42% of the samples are over 1 part per million, which exceeds the current optimal level. And so you should expect that your juices, and particularly grape juices, products that have lots of pesticide use in that product, and that raw produce, it will have higher fluoride levels, as well as especially if it's bottled in a fluoridated community. Now, there are exceptions. Spring water. Not all spring water. See, nothing here I can say is uniform, but some spring waters will have lower levels because natural groundwater generally has a fluoride level of 0.2 parts per million, which is very low. It's a trace amount. However, some bottled water will be bottled in an area that has naturally high levels of fluoride, particularly in some European bottled water companies are that way. So in those cases, you ought to contact the retailer, contact the manufacturer. A simple email or phone call is generally replied to pretty quickly, and you can ask, what is the fluoride level? Because they know, they test it, they test the quality of the product and any contaminants. So if you have a product that's bottled in front of you, a retail outlet, assume it's the tap water level of fluoride. And if it's a product that you're buying out of online, or you're buying out of a freezer or something, then I would check with the manufacturer. There will be some manufacturers who use reverse osmosis. There are several water companies, mass manufactured water companies. We're not going to name them here, but they do use distillation, and that's to create, or pardon, not distillation, but reverse osmosis, as well as a major coffee chain. And that is not to spare you from fluoride, but to create uniformity in taste. And so, again, it's just something that you as a consumer need to double check.